someone's eating pencil, cannot sing. First of all, my unlimited Dandavat pranams to lotus feet of Shiva Gurudev, Nitya Preshtam Vishnupada Stutra Satya Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shiksha Gurudeva Som Vishnupada Stutra Satya Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, Shrimati Krishna Priyata Purani, Shri Satyavrata Muni, the author of Dhammadarashtaka, Shri Sanatana Goswami Pad, the commentator, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas, Pujapad Damodar Maharaj. So, Kartik Vrata is approaching its middle soon. We're hearing Dhammadarashtaka in the mornings. The second and third verses are very sweet because Shri Satyavrata Muni is so much mesmerized by Vatsalya Bhava of Mother Yashoda. He's taken aback. He is so surprised, and his heart is experiencing the flow of Vatsalya Bhava. He is astonished by Krishna's Bhakta Vatsalyata, and especially his Bhakta Vashyata. So Bhakta Vatsalyata is love, benevolence towards devotees, and Vashyata means the desire to be controlled by his devotees. So that is the most essential feature of Krishna. So he is very greedy. He is very greedy for his devotees' love. He wants to be subordinate. He wants them to be victorious. He wants himself to be controlled. So, therefore he is allowing Mother Yashoda to bind him. Therefore he becomes Yashoda Damodar, and he becomes Radha Damodar as well. He becomes the loser in that love battle. So, the third verse speaks more about Krishna's pastimes. Idrik drik swalila birananda kunde swagosham nimajjantam akyapayantam tadeshita gyeshu bhaktarjitatvam punaprematastam shatavritti vande. So, itidrik. Those very attractive pastimes like this, means like Damodara Lila. Iti drik. Thus, these pastimes like this, like Krishna being bound by Mother Yashoda, are drowning the residents of Vraj into pools of bliss. Ananda Kunda. Kunda means pool, Kunda means lake, and actually reservoir of bliss. So when you imagine a pool, you imagine a kunda, a lake, it is something limited. But these Ananda Kunda, these pools of bliss, are actually unlimited. So, pool or kunda or container is used just in a figurative sense. Actually, they are limitless. You can say ocean, but when you have many pools, like lila upon lila, like many lakes, they make up one ocean, great, great ocean, unending. So Maharaj just mentioned that in Srimad Bhagavatam, a small part of Krishna's pastimes is told, like a drop, literally a drop. Or Srimad Bhagavatam, we can hear, how many verses? 18,000? Yes, but 10th canto is the largest, and it has 90 chapters. In each chapter, one or more pastimes. But this is just a drop, you can imagine. It's happening everywhere, all over Vraj, and it's happening constantly. So it's Swali Labhya. So Swa means his, and Krishna is most unique personality. So his pastimes, because they're Krishna's, they're so much unique. So, like the other day we were hearing about Vastraharana Lila at Chirgat, how Krishna stole the clothing of the gopis. So finally he gave that back. He gave those clothes back. They received back. But they received Mahaprasad. And the fragrance of those clothes, gopis' clothes, was so incomparable. They could never forget, they could never taste that before, they could never smell that before, and they could never forget that because that's Krishna Prasad. Anything Krishna touches to becomes fully nectarian, becomes blissful. So that's why these pastimes, Swa Lilabhi and also Swa Gosham. Swa Lilabhi means his pastimes. Swa Gosham, in his abode, are so unique, and their aroma, their smell, so uncommon and so unique, so incomparable, unforgettable. So that is the reason why all the Brijbasis are so much attached to Krishna. Their attachment to Krishna is swabhavik. When we speak about the Brijbasis, we hear from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and other books, it is Svarasika Raga, that they have raga, natural attraction to Krishna. So they are ragatmika, therefore. Atma means soul. So their atmas, their souls, are already made of raga, are made of attachment to Krishna. In that same way as a glass vase produced in a factory is already red or yellow or green or blue, any color, because that is the natural quality, inborn quality of that object. So in that same way, each Brijbasi eternally has his Sthai Bhava, his eternal mood of service towards Krishna, Sthai Bhava. So have to develop that as well in our sadhana. But we take after those Brijbasis, that's why we become Raga Anuga, so we're following that Raga. Right now we have no Raga. We have Raga or attachment towards material things. So many things. Sometimes devotees come to join this process of bhakti, but my Raga is concentrated upon some very bad, let's say, addictions and many things, so cannot really follow or experiencing great difficulties, but gradually that will get purified as all anarthas will leave. But in the hearts of the Brijbasis, that ananda, that pleasure is eternal, and it's swabhavik, that's natural. So it cannot really be imitated, because you can never become on the same level as them. You can be like them, but never completely as them. So Ananda Kunda, Swagosham Nimajjantam Akyapayantam. So they're constantly submerged, Nimajjantam, in the tasting of that nectar, the tasting of that bliss. So we hear their examples, how they love Krishna. So we'll hear more. So, but that is the message, Akyapayantam. That's a great message. In the third verse, Sri Satyavrata Muni is giving the great message for those Tadiya those associates or those devotees who are established in Aishwarya Jnana, the knowledge of Krishna's divinity, the knowledge of Krishna's Godhead, Godhoodness, his Bhagavata, and they're praying to them, Om Namo Narayana, they worship him in awe and reverence. So, great message, Akyapandam. What is that? That Bhaktai Jitatvam, he is conquered only by his devotees. He is not conquered by those who have Aishwarya Jnana at all. He is not conquered by, what to speak of, those who are established in Brahma Jnana, knowledge of impersonal Brahman. Krishna doesn't even look at them. They're offenders actually. They consider Krishna to be a manifestation of Brahman touched by gunas, by the modes of nature, like sattva guna, they say. You know 3 gunas, Sandra, you know 3 gunas? Material nature, sattva, rajas, tamas. Goodness, passion, ignorance. So Krishna, they say, is the manifestation of sattva guna. That is such an offense. So Krishna doesn't look at them. Krishna accepts only the mood of the devotees who are filled with spontaneous attraction to him. That is the Brijbasa. So, simultaneously, Aishwarya or divinity, awe and reverence is also present in Vrindavan. It's also present. If Krishna was an ordinary child, who would be attracted to him actually? The mother is tying the naughty ordinary child. Well, some mundane sentimentalists can be attracted, but there's nothing divine in that. But Krishna is the divine personality, supreme personality of Godhead. First of all, we have to understand. And these leelas are divine. So therefore, these divine leelas are filled with Aishwarya. Sometimes it manifests, but to the Brijbasis who are fully absorbed in the ecstasy of relishing this Ananda Kundam, these pools of bliss, it's quite insignificant. It's not more insignificant than a straw in the boiling milk, which sometimes is on the surface, but most of the time it's within the mass of milk. So they don't even know about it when the straw is within the milk, and they don't notice it, they don't give much attention to it when it's on the surface. So they're saying, oh, probably, yes, Krishna has some power, but that's not overwhelming, that's not all of us. The classical example, we mentioned already, but you know why in Vraj they laugh so often? At the end of any parikrama, the Panda who leaves the excursion group, the pilgrimage group, tells everyone, now you have to laugh. And they start laughing. They're laughing at the principle of Aishwarya, or the principle of Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, you must remember, we were discussing, but I want to repeat, in Nanda Baitak, in the place where the cowherd men were sitting and discussing Krishna's, Krishna's auspiciousness. They expressed the concern to Nanda. They say, oh, listen, Nanda, we could see how Krishna performed so many superhuman tasks. He lifted Giriraj Govardhan, he saved all of us from the impending dangers, from the so many demons. So we presume that he's a very empowered personality. Maybe he's a demigod in disguise, or even we think that he's an expansion of Lord Narayan, or at least Lord Narayan acts through him. So then the Nanda Baba just started laughing. You, coward man. I know that the coward men become mature only at the age of 80, so you're still youngsters. Your milk teeth haven't manifested yet. How can you say he's Lord Narayan? Lord Narayan. Does Lord Narayan ever look impure? Is he ever impure? No, he's always pure. Does he ever play in dirt? We saw Krishna playing in dirt. Once Mother Yashoda told Krishna, oh Krishna, you're dirty like a pig. That's true, Krishna said. I was a pig. I was a boar. Lord Boar, Varahadev. That's true, Siddhantic truth. Mother Yashoda didn't notice. She didn't even take heed of that he was a boar, he was a pig, and he was lifting the earth from the ocean, the great ocean, Garbhodaka, where she had fallen. So Krishna says Siddhantic truth, but again Mother Yashoda doesn't notice that, doesn't pay attention to her pig. She was perplexed by his answer. What do you mean you were a pig? You have to be great honor for our dynasty, you have to be the pride of our dynasty. How dare you say you're a pig? No. You're a pig now, you're rolling in dust. You're like a little piglet. So Mother Yashoda doesn't take that seriously. So Nanda Baba started laughing. Does Lord Narayan ever steal? You must be mad, you don't understand that Krishna is just an ordinary coward boy. And he's our future. We have great hope that he will grow and become a great representative of our dynasty. But now we see that he's rolling in the dust, he's rolling in the dirt, he's stealing things, he's lying. Inveterable liar. Krishna is just an inveterable liar. He cannot really tell that he is saying truth. He's always lies. So Krishna always lies. The other day we were hearing about Vastraharana Lila, where Krishna was stealing the clothes of unmarried gopis. So Krishna started making his versions, how they cannot just eat it up. How the clothings got on the tree Krishna was sitting upon, the Kadamba tree. Oh, some demigoddesses were here and they were performing Yamuna Puja, so these pieces of clothes were left by them. Oh Krishna, the gopis are saying, you don't even recognize whether a boy's or a girl's clothes. No, no, they're very red so I can see. They're yours. Must have been yours. No Krishna, we saw you. You hid these pieces of clothes on the tree. So they came at 4 o'clock and Krishna came at 3 o'clock and was watching them. But when they went for bathing, which was before the worship of Katyayani Devi, then Krishna dexterously hid their clothing and put them on the branches of the tree. So Krishna is saying, oh, you think you're the only ones? You think you're the only ladies who come and do the playful activities in the water? There may be so many ladies. Why are you sure these are your clothes? You know, so Krishna is trying to cheat them. So then the ladies are saying that, no, no, they're definitely ours. You have no proof. You have no proof. So in many, many occasions Krishna is lying, and you could hear how in Damodara Lila he was lying. And oh Mother Yashoda, you were running and you touched the big pot of yogurt with your ankle bell, so that's why it got broken. It got broken. And who was feeding the monkeys? The one who created the monkeys was feeding them. That is Siddhantic truth. But that is not true, because actually Krishna was feeding. And who stole the butter? Who stole the butter? I didn't steal. Also untrue. So many lies Krishna is saying at every step. But Narayan always truthful. Every word of Narayan is greatest truth. So yeah, that's the message. That's the message of his great devotees who are in Aishwarya Bhav, that they cannot control him. They cannot control him. Cannot conquer him. They're offering their prayers and he accepts them with his hand like this, Tatastu. I accept your prayers, let them be so. In that same way as a great minister accepts, or great king accepts great glorification. So, yes, yes, I accept, let there be according to your desires, I will fulfill your desires. So, many devotees were eager to achieve Krishna's benevolence, achieve his blessings. And they achieved their results. He really is controlled by them. Sadhana Siddha, Nitya Siddha, during this Vastracharana Lila, those gopis who were performing Katyayani Vrata, they were great personalities in the past. Some of them were Municharis, they were great sages of Naimisharanya. So they were performing austerities, they were chanting Gayatri Mantra, Kama Gayatri Mantra. But Lord Ramachandra said to them, oh, I accept your mood, but in this lifetime I cannot accept you because I am Ekapatni Vratadhari. I took a vow to accept just one wife, that is Sita Devi, so you cannot join me. You cannot join my pastimes. You have to be born in Krishna's pastimes after 16 million years, and then I will come and accept you. So Krishna came and accepted them. Or statues of golden Sita. Lord Ramachandra was performing yagya. Sita was not there. Sita had been sent to Valmiki Muni ashram. So the golden Sitas were constructed. Year after year, golden Sitas were present. So those golden Sitas, as you can understand, are alive and their personalities. So they joined those gopis' activities in Krishna Lila. So they were also performing Katyayani Vrata, etc. So finally, their austerities became fruitful. On the last day of Katyayani Vrata, Krishna came personally and he accepted them. He accepted them in a very interesting, unique